guys, Emily. Today we're going to be doing a reformer series. A lot of the series today is going to be focused on getting into the forward C-shaped curve, curl it correctly. I have a sticky mat, and that's the only prop that I'll need today. So let's all go ahead, sit on your reformer. Go ahead and set up your reformer for footwork. We're going to come down. Lying on our backs, toes on, heels off, feet in a Pilates V. Your hip should be turned out, your femur bone should be turning out your hip socket to track over your knee as you pull out, as you push out and pull in, squeezing your heels together strongly. Your sacrum should be flat and heavy. Slight curve, lifting your lower back, all your ribs up. Exhale, bring your ribs together. Shoulder blades flat. Wide open collarbone, soft sacrum. We're going to inhale to press up and exhale to pull back in, resisting the spring tension as you come in, not just allowing the springs to pull you back in. As you press up this time, make sure you're not losing a lift or curve in your lower back. You're maintaining a neutral spine all the way out and all the way in. Here's 5. Squeeze at the top. Squeeze your inner thighs, tweezing your seat. Come back in. Inhale, exhale, dropping your belly button to your spine, letting your lower abdominals lift up and in, keeping your ribs together, and in. One more, and in. Bring your feet to parallel, squeezing your knees, ankles, and toes. Wrap your toes over the foot bar, bringing your heels down. Your foot is not pointed. Your heels are not lifted. As you press out, allow your heels to press fluidly under the foot bar and come back in, squeezing everything together. Inhale, press, and in. It should be one motion. It should not be a press out and then a dropping of your heels. As you press, your heels should drop. Energy should shoot out of your head and shoot out of your heels at the same time. And press both directions. And in. And inhale. And exhale. 4 more. Inhale and exhale. Still squeezing your legs together. Out and in. Out. Exhale. Drop your belly. And bring your ribs together. Come up to your heels. Still squeezing your legs together. Drawing your toes back towards your knees. Legs squeeze together again. We're going to press out and pull in. Make sure that you adjust your heel position if you need to. Make sure that you're not losing your neutral spine as you press out. Tweeze your seats. Release your hip flexors to come in. And squeeze and release. 5. When I say release, don't allow the springs to sling you back into the bumper. This is a controlled movement. 9. And 10. Stopping there. Go ahead and flex our feet very quickly. We're going to come onto the heels to the outside edges of the foot bar. We're going to turn our feet out to a wide Pilates V. Flex our feet, pulling our toes back to our knees, tracking our knees over our bend. And we're going to squeeze, squeezing our inner thighs, tweezing your seat, and release back in. And 2. Make sure that you're still loose in your neck. See if you can flatten your shoulder blades a little bit more. Loosen up in your sternum area. Release the tension from here, but leaving your ribs together. After you watch me do the exercise a few times, go ahead and change your point of focus so that you're not craning your neck towards the monitor the entire time. 2 more. 1 more. And in. Bring your feet into a forced arch position on the balls of your foot with your heels lifted as high as you can and your legs squeezed together. We're going to do the entire movement with our legs squeezed together the whole time. So when you come up, don't allow your legs to separate. When you come in, don't allow your legs to separate. So check in on your neutral spine. Inhale to press and exhale to come back in. And inhale. There's 2. 3. check on your lower abdominals. Bring your hips together. Shake out your neck. On this last one, stay up at the top. We're going to drop the left heel under while bending the right knee over the foot bar. Lift and straighten. Drop your right heel under while bending your left knee over the foot bar. Lift your right heel and straighten your left knee. And switch. Bring everything back up to a forced arch position and then drop your right heel. And lift. Drop your left. And lift. Now drop your right. 4. We're going to do 10 on each side. 5. If your sacrum is stable and not rocking, you can speed it up. But when your sacrum starts to rock and become unstable, please slow it back down to maintain control of the exercise. 8, 9, and 10. Stay up at the top. We're going to drop our heels under, bend our knees over the foot bar with our heels pulling under the foot bar as hard as we can. Raise our heels back up. Press back up with a forced arch. Drop your heels under the foot bar. Bend your knees, tracking over your toes with your heels still pulling under the foot bar. Now lift your heels back up to a forced arch position and press out. Drop your heels, bend your knees to come into the carriage. Lift up, press out, your heels, and under. And now we're going to reverse that. So, just like we did in the second exercise on footwork, we're going to push our heels under the foot bar as we press out to straight. Now we're going to rise up and in a forced arch position, we're going to bend our knees over the foot bar without collapsing our low spine into the mat. We're going to come back into the carriage or the bumper. Heels under, press out, driving your heels into the foot bar, and lift. Bend your knees. Drop your heels, press out, and lift. Bend your knees. One more. And lift. Bend your knees. So go ahead and come up to sitting. I have 4 springs on. I'm going to drop down to 2 springs. We are going to move into one-legged footwork. So this is a little bit more of a challenge. Down. We are going to come into the Pilates V with our toes on, our heels off, knees tracking over our toes. We are going to extend my left leg over the foot bar so it's hovering, not so it's resting. I'm going to hover. I'm going to press out, kick my leg up as high as I can without collapsing my low back, and come back in. Both of my legs are turned down, bringing my foot to hover over the foot bar, and kick, and lower. 3, 4, squeeze your glutes at the top, and 5. Staying there with your foot up, we're going to bend our knee to come in, bringing our foot out to the side as far as we can without allowing our hips to rock, keeping us at stable sacrum. We're going to press out, bringing our foot back up in front of our nose. Bend our knee, bringing our leg to the side, and squeeze it back towards the midline as we come in. And open. And squeeze. And one more. And squeeze. We're going to come back into the foot bar, bringing our foot across the foot bar. And now we're going to kick out, or press out, kicking our leg up with control, bringing our leg to the side, bending our knee to bring our leg back in across the foot bar for a single leg circle. Straighten your leg, bring your foot up, bend your knee as you bring your foot around the side for a single leg circle. One more in this direction. And bend. Carry your leg around the side. Single leg circle. We're going to reverse, straightening our leg, bringing our foot around the outside, back up to our nose when we straighten our leg, and bending our leg to bring our foot across the foot bar. Straighten your leg, bring your leg around in the single leg circle, away from the midline, and back down through the center. One more. Away from the middle, squeezing everything together, and back down. Go ahead and hug the knee into your chest briefly. We're going to place our foot back on the foot bar in the Pilates V position. Take your right leg, hover across the foot bar, not rest down through. We are going to straighten our left leg, bring in our right straight up to the ceiling, and lower it back down across the foot bar. You don't have to have an extreme point your toe, just a gentle point through the foot is more than acceptable. Here's 3, abdominals up and in. Make sure that your sacrum's not rocking, your ribs are together, not flaring. 1 more. Stay up. As you come in, we're going to bring your leg to the outside and bring it back up, squeezing your glutes. And here's 2, bending your knee. Everything's turned out again, dropping your lower abdominals. 3 and 4 and 5. From there, we're going to bring our foot across the foot bar, bending our knee, still hovering our foot for the single leg circles. We're going to sweep our leg up through the middle as we straighten our standing leg on the foot bar. We're going to bring our leg away from the middle. We're going to bend our leg to bring it back across the foot bar. Straighten and kick up. And exhale and circle to the side as you bend. And straighten. And bend. And now reverse. We're going to straighten as we bring our leg away from the midline. And exhale it through the center. Bringing it across the foot bar. And inhale. And up. And exhale. And down. Inhale. Up. And exhale. And down. Go ahead and draw your knee into your chest. Come back up to sitting to change our springs for curl-ups, hundreds, and coordination. I use 2 springs for that as well. They're 2 different springs, so I'm going to go ahead and change. Anyone else would like to is more than welcome to. We're going to come down to lying on our backs. We're going to go ahead and grab my handles. Check on them, go ahead and make sure they're even. Bring my feet up to tabletop. Checking on my neutral spine. Arms will be parallel. Figure straight up to ceiling, palms away from you. And exhale to curl, bringing your hands down to your hips. Curling up over your sternum. And inhale down. And exhale. And inhale. 1 more. And inhale. Arms out to a V, no wider than the width of your forearm. Put a little bit more pressure on your pinky blade edge. Inhale. Exhale, draw your pinky blade edge to your hips. And inhale back down. And exhale to lift up over your sternum. And exhale down. 1 more to lift. And exhale. Arms out to a T, palms facing away from you. Again, more pressure on your pinky blade edge. Inhale. Exhale to curl up and lift. Allowing your abdominals to help support your neck. Not crunching your neck down, putting undue pressure in your neck to lift up. Exhale. And down. And exhale. And down. From there, we'll go into a cheerleader style curl up. So, I'm going to bring my right arm up to the ceiling. I'm like in the parallel curl up so we just did. My left arm is going to be out to a T. I'm going to inhale, exhale to curl up. I'm going to take my left arm up to the ceiling and my right arm out to a T. And exhale to curl up. Right arm up to the ceiling. Left arm out to a T. Curl up. And left arm to the ceiling. Right arm to the T. And 1 more set. Right arm up, left arm T. 1 more. Left arm up, right arm T. Arms out to the ceiling. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, curl up. Coming out to your working level. We're going to reach strongly towards the springs. We're going to inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Make sure that you're not crunching your shoulders up to your ears. Energy shooting out of your fingertips. Squeezing your inner thighs together. Dropping your lower abdominals. Making sure that you're not imprinting your lower spine into the mat, collapsing into the mat. Shake out your neck. A long, even breath on the exhale as if you're fogging a mirror to drop your lower abdominals. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more sets. How much energy can you shoot out of your fingers on this last one? 2, 3, 4, 5. Stop there. Curl a little deeper. Drop your belly a little lower. Bring your knees into tabletop. Rest your head, neck, and shoulders. Bring your feet down to the foot bar. Windshield wiper your shins from side to side. We're going to move right into coordination. Then after that, we're going to move on to feet and straps. So, knees up to tabletop. We're going to come back to this position rather than crunching in every time to maintain our neutral spine. Biceps, hugging your ribs. Hands and fists up by your shoulders. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to curl up, extending your legs to working level, extending your arms down to your hips, hovering off the mat. Turn your feet out to Pilates feet. Open them the width of their form. Squeeze them back together with your inner thighs. Turn parallel. Come into tabletop. Bring your hands into your shoulders again. Rest your head, neck, and shoulders. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to curl up. Turn out to Pilates feet. Open 1, open 2. Back to parallel. Feet to tabletop.
It doesn't look like you have an app.
Hands to your shoulders. Rest your head, neck, and shoulders. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to curl up. Extending your feet. Open to Pilates feet. And 1, and 2, and 3. Parallel. Knees to tabletop. Rest your head, neck, and shoulders. We're going to do 4 beats. Inhale. Exhale. Extend. Here's 4, 3, 2, 1. Parallel. Knees to tabletop. Hands to your shoulders. Rest your head, neck, and shoulders. And 5. Inhale. Exhale to push. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet parallel. Knees to tabletop. Hands to your shoulders. Rest your head, neck, and shoulders. Final set. We're going to beat for 6. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to curl up. Turn out to Pilates feet. Shoot energy out of your fingertips. And 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Parallel. Knees to tabletop. Hands to your shoulders. Rest your head, neck, and shoulders. Peg your straps. We're going to come up to sitting. Change our springs over to footwork springs. Or feet and strap springs, I'm sorry. I'm going to change my handles for foot straps, unless you have double loops. I'm going to go ahead and lower my headdress now because at the end of feet and straps, we are going to do reverse ab curls. I'm going to come down onto my back. I'm going to press out with my left foot, bending my right knee in my chest, placing my foot strap around my right arch, press my right foot straight, and then put my left foot into my foot strap. Adjust from there, check out my neutral spine, bend my knees into a frog, my toes are flexed back, my knees are wide, I'm tracking my knees over my toes still. I'm going to press out, squeezing everything together, and pull back to the frog. Neutral spine the entire time. 2. You can pull in as far as you're able to keep your spine neutral. When you start to collapse, go ahead and press your legs up slightly to maintain your neutral spine. Here's 3. And 4. We're going to go to 10. Drop your belly button to your spine. If you feel like this weight is too light, if you'd like to try to advance, go ahead and press out a little lower as long as you can keep your sacrum stable. And here's 10. Legs up to the ceiling, parallel. We're going to pull down with our inner thighs, hamstrings, and glutes, and lift back up. Feet to the ceiling, straight legs. If you have a tight hamstrings or tight lower back, please only go as far as you can to maintain a neutral spine, or put a slight diamond or hook into your legs. Still press from the glutes and hamstrings. 5. Here's 6. this, we're doing stomach massage. Go ahead and enjoy legs and straps while we're here. Here's 8. Here's 9. And final 1. And here is 10. From there, go ahead and turn your feet out to a Pilates feet. Heels together, toes apart. Open your feet wide and flex to bring your heels together and open. See if you can keep your carriage still. Keeping resistance in your springs the whole time and not changing the resistance. When you squeeze, can you bring your heels together to the center at the same time? We're always unequal as for strength on different sides of our body. But we're trying to equalize the time that it takes to get to the center. Staying there. We're going to open our legs with the reformer, bring them down, pull them back together. This leg circle is going to look a little bit more like an oval this time. We're focusing on squeezing from our glutes. We're working in a Pilates V position. We're focusing on rotating our femur bone in the hip socket and keeping the same turnout throughout the entire circle. And up, one more in this direction. And up, and reverse. Bring your feet down. When you feel your sacrum start to rock, don't come down as far. Pull your legs down with your lower abdominals as well as your glutes and hamstrings. Can you put a little bit more effort in there now? Pull with your lower abdominals. And pull with your lower abdominals. Without flaring your wrist. And one more. From there, bring your feet into front. Shimmy a little bit away from your shoulder blocks. Make sure that your headrest is dropped or lowered. We're going to platform our arms by our sides. Come into a tight frog. Make sure you stay in this position and you're not extending your legs to help swing you over backwards. This is a lower abdominal exercise. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, tuck your tailbone, peeling your spine up off the mat. Tucking your pelvis towards your nose. When you feel your shoulders start to curl up, that's your edge. Articulate your spine back down with your lower abdominals. And exhale to curl up. You're in control of the springs. The springs are not in control of you. Don't let them pull you up. Allow them to assist you slightly to find the connection in your lower abdominals. But you are here to do the work. Inhale. Exhale to tuck. Inhale to tuck. Exhale to articulate your spine down. Inhale. Exhale to tuck. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale, tuck your tailbone. Articulate your spine up. Inhale, top. Exhale to come back down. From there, I'm going to extend my right leg, leaving my left leg bent. Take the foot strap off of my left foot. Peg my left strap. Reach for my foot bar. Then bend my right knee when I find the foot bar. I'm going to take my right foot out of the strap and bring the carriage back into the bumper with control. From there, I'm going to make any adjustments that may need to be made to do stomach massage series. I'm going to press out my carriage personally because I like my carriage in closer for footwork, but it does not work for my body for footwork, and so I'm going to make an adjustment there. I'm going to use my sticky mat for safety. I'm going to come sitting on my reformer. I'm going to make sure that I am a hand's width away from the front edge with my booty from the end of the reformer. I'm going to bring my feet up to Pilates V. I'm going to round over looking at my belly button. I have 3 to 4 springs on. I'm going to press out on 1. Drop my heels under on 2 without breaking my wrist. Press out on 3 and resist the spring back over on 4. Press out on 1. Drop your heels 2. Lift on 3. It should feel as if someone is holding a belt around your belly button and pulling you back the entire time. Keep a uniform curve of your spine. Don't crunch your neck so that it's touching your chest. Make sure that you have enough space under there for an apple or an orange. 1 more. From there, I'm going to reach my arms up, circle them to the back, grab onto my footrest or my shoulder blocks. Try not to bend your wrists like this. Try to leave them as straight as you can, lifting up through the chest, making sure that you're not flaring your ribs. It will be a tiny back extension. Press out on 1. Your sternum should feel wide and open. Press out on 2. Drop up 2. Lift on 3. Across on 4. Same pattern of movement for this one. Lift your abdominals up and in. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Squeeze your heels together the whole time. 1 more. From here, I'm going to reach down. I'm going to drop a spring. I'm going to reach forward, trying to bring my body on the diagonal. I'm going to press out, trying to flatten my back even further. Reaching for where the wall meets the ceiling and pull back in. And press. And pull. It still feels as if my belly button is drawing back to my spine so strongly that someone is pulling me with a belt or ribbon behind me. 2 more. 7 and 8. From there, I'm going to sit up, bringing my arms straight out in front of my chest. I'm going to rotate to the side, twisting from the belly button up, cross my ribs, leaving my hips stable, and come back to the center. I'm going to twist open to the other side, holding my twist, and come back to the center. I'm going to open, holding 3, 2, 1. Try to grow taller, and back to center, and rotate to the other side. 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Open. 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Other side. 3, 2, 1. Center. 3, 2, 1. Center. 3, 2, 1. Center. From there, with control, I'm going to take my feet off to the side. I'm going to make any adjustments I need that I may have changed to my reformer. I'm going to remove my sticky mat. I'm going to change my foot straps back over to my handles. And from there, I'm going to adjust my springs. We're going to arm and shoulder work. So I'm going to adjust to 1 spring. I have 1 light spring on. Then I'm going to come onto my knees. Careful getting on and off. Get on and off carefully because your carriage is lighter and you could hurt yourself if you decide to jump right on there. I'm going to press my knees up in my shoulder blocks. I'm going to tuck my toes and sit back on my heels. This is going to be a strong sensation, a strong stretching sensation through your toes. If at any point you feel like you need to release, drop your foot and then come back when or if you're able to. From there, I'm going to put my handles on my arms or on my wrists as if they're a bracelet. I'm going to reach through, grab the metal. From there, I'm going to make sure that my shoulders are over my hips. I'm going to pull back behind my body and come back to the front. This is like pulling straps, series 1 and 2, when you're lying on the long box. could be considered a version of chest expansion. 6. We're going to go to 8, 7, 8. Leave your arms behind you. Hinge forward slightly to the hips with a flat back. Bend your elbows in and press back for tricep presses. And 2. Control your carriage. Don't swing it. Look down, following the line of your spine with your neck. Don't crank your neck up or look too far down. 7 and 8. Hold it back and come forward, bringing your body back up. Release your hands from the straps. Bring your hands to the middle or hook your thumbs into the rings if you have rings. We're going to pull back, leaving our palms to the floor, not flaring your ribs. Keeping a neutral spine. Forward. Bring it all the way into the bumper. Give it a tap and pull and tap. Make sure that you're not bringing your shoulders up too far to your ears. If you feel that they're creeping up, go ahead and drop your hands slightly below your shoulders. 2 more. And abdominal. And lift your arms up and in and down. Go ahead and place your straps on your pegs. Go ahead and release your toes. Give them a little wiggle back there. Give them a little love. A heavy stretch for your toes. Where you're going to take both straps in one hand and very carefully turn around to face the front of the carriage. You're going to make sure that our straps are not twisted in the back. I have an itch. I'm going to come up to my knees. I'm going to press my heels against my shoulder blocks. Squeeze my glutes. Draw my abdominals up and in. Bring my ribs together. Use my lats to draw my shoulders down away from my ears. Pull my straps to my hips. Do not go behind your body if you have any shoulder issues. And please, if you're having trouble with this, please feel free to go ahead and drop down to your heels if you're feeling a little unstable in your balance. We're going to bring our hands to the front, lift them up, and open them to the side, bringing them back down with control. Putting a little bit more weight into our pinky blade edge to control the carriage. The carriage does not control us. Engage in your lats the entire time. Here's 4. Abdominals up and in. Squeezing our hamstrings, glutes, and inner thighs to press our hips forward to open up our hip flexors. Bring your hands down to your side. Pause here. We're going to reverse. Opening to the side. Bringing our hands to the front. Make sure your ribs aren't flaring. Make sure you're not rounding your shoulders in. And inhale. Widening your shoulder blades across the back. Feel a widening happen to flatten your shoulder blades. And one more. Go ahead and sit back onto your heels. Allow the carriage to come into the bumper. Replace your handles. We're going to go into some kneeling reverse ab curls, and then we're going to go into some knee stretches. So we're going to come to put the same spring tension, putting our knees in front of our shoulder blocks, placing our hands in a quadruped position so that our wrists are under our shoulders. From there, we're going to take our thumbs and bring them to the outside of the reformer. We're not tucking them over the reformer, we're bringing them all of our fingers together so that we don't pull the reformer over our thumbs and hurt ourselves. From there, we're going to inhale, exhale, tuck our tailbone, round our back, look in up at our belly button. Don't round like this, round forward, not inward. Now with your shoulders, rounding of your spine, we're going to inhale, exhale, deepen our curve to draw the carriage in, and release. Inhale and exhale. Deepening our curve as if someone punched us in the stomach. leaving our feet flat on the carriage and our shins heavy. You'll know if you're using too much hip flexor because you'll bend like this to bring the carriage in. All it is a lift. Think of lifting your abdominals and spine. Here's 6. 2 more. And 7. Don't crunch your chin to your chest. Again, it's as if you have a piece of fruit that you're keeping safe under there. And 8. Bring the carriage back to the bumper. Bend your knees. Come sitting back into a modified child's pose. Take a couple of deep breaths. Articulate your spine after sitting. Walking your hands back on the sides of reformer. Step carefully off to the side. We're going to add a spring for knee stretch series. We're going to start with the round back knee stretch series. Move into flat back and do a psoas stretch before moving on to bridging. So, place one hand on the foot bar, other hand on one knee, other knee. Come back to push your heels up against the shoulder blocks, just like we did for arm circles facing front. We're going to round up, linking in on our abdominals, like we just did for reverse, for kneeling reverse curls. We're going to look in at our belly button, hover our glutes off our knees. We're going to straighten our knees, and we can go back as far as we can while keeping the curve in our back, and come back in. Don't lose the curve in your pelvis. You're still tucking in. And inhale. And exhale. Equal pressure or weight in both of your hands. 6, 7, squeeze your glutes, drawing your abdominals up and in, and 8. Come back in, come into a flat back position. Don't rounding your back like you're in cow. It's more of a flat back position, like you're between 2 sheets of glass. You're in a panini press. You're doing flat back on short box. We're going to press out and in. When you start to sink in your abdominals and you feel yourself start to lose the flat back position, stop right there. You're at your edge. Don't crunch your wrists over. See if you can hold on to the edge with more of a flat wrist. It'll take some pressure off your wrist. 7. Abdominals up and in. Bend your ribs. Squeeze your glutes. And come on. Go ahead and step carefully off to the side. I'm going to release one spring, so just one light spring is on. I'm going to place both of my hands on the foot bar. I'm standing on the left side of my reformer this time. I'm going to pick up my right leg or the leg that's closest to the reformer. I'm going to place my knee on the reformer. I'm going to shimmy my left foot or my front foot up so it is in line with my big toes in line with the top front part of this wood. I'm going to bend both knees, going deeper into my stretch, allowing the carriage to push out behind me, pushing my heel into the shoulder block, getting a really deep psoas stretch here, and lift back up. I'm going to come back down. I'm going to try to sit up as straight as I can throughout the whole stretch. And up. One more on this side. I'm going to press down. When I'm down at the bottom, if I can do so carefully, I will lift up my left hand or my outside hand. I'm going to lift it up in front of my ear and side bend towards the right side of my carriage or the opposite side. I'm going to release myself from the side bend, place my hand back down, and come out of the stretch. Then I'm going to come carefully off the foot bar. Then I'm going to release my hands and go to the other side. Place hand. Then I'm going to place my foot, my left foot now, or my closest foot, onto the carriage. Place my knee on the mat, shimmy my foot up so it is my big toes lined up with the front part of the wood on the reformer. I'm going to push my hips forward, And then I'm going to sink into the stretch. Pushing the carriage out behind me, so bending my front knee, sitting up as straight as I can up, flaring my ribs, drawing my abdominals up and in. We're going to come back up, and then I'm going to sink back down again. Really enjoying the stretch here, guys. About to do some bridging for articulation. Come back up. One more. Coming down. When I reach the bottom of my stretch, if I can do so carefully, I'm going to lift my outside hand from my right hand up off, bring it in front of my ear. I'm going to side bend towards the left side or opposite side of my reformer. I'm going to come back up, place my hand safely back on the foot bar, and lift myself back up out of the stretch. From there, I'm going to release my leg off the carriage, and then release my hands. I'm going to put one spring back on. We're going to be doing some bridging for our articulation and some dynamic bridging here. So let's go ahead and make sure that our headrests are down. Come over to this side. Get onto my reformer. I'm going to roll onto my reformer. I'm going to bring my feet into a Pilates V position in the center, or actually we're going to come parallel to the center. I'm so sorry. Place your foot anywhere on the foot bar, on your arch where it is comfortable. Shimmy slightly away from the shoulder blocks so that you have room to roll up into your bridge. We're going to inhale, exhale, tuck your tailbone, lift up. Straight knee from your knees to your hips, from your hips to your underarms, keeping the carriage in at the bumper with your hamstrings. Articulate down. Keeping the carriage in at the bumper the whole time. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to curl up. Keeping your carriage in. Squeezing your glutes. Lifting your legs. Keeping your knees as close together as you can. And come back down. One more. We're going to press out and pull in for 6 on this next one. Inhale, prepare. Platform your arms. Exhale to curl up. Squeezing your seat. Press out on 1. And pull your knees across the foot bar. And 2. Pull across, squeezing your glutes. Here's 3. Here's 4. Squeeze your legs together. 5. Soften your sternum. Make sure you're not rolling out too far off your shoulder blades. 5. 1 more. And 6. And then we're going to articulate our spine back down to the mat. Bring your feet out to a Pilates V, wide at the corners of the foot bar, still in the arches of your feet. This is going to be more of a dynamic lower lift situation, keeping the foot bar in at the bumper with your hamstrings. We're going to lift up till you're a straight line from your knees to your hips, hips to your underarms, and lower. Carriage in the whole time, and lift, squeeze, and lower. Don't go up too far, too fast and too high that you roll up on your shoulders. You want to stay platformed on your shoulder blades. And 3. Now press out and pull in. And 2. Here's 3. Abdominals your spine. 4. 5. And 6. Go ahead and come down, leaving the carriage into the bumper. Go ahead and shake out your legs real fast. We're going to come up, off to the side, but not before we drop down to one line spring again. We're going to come to the back of the reformer or the front of the reformer, behind your foot bar. We're going to drop our foot bar. We're going to be moving into cat-cow. I'm standing at the end of my reformer. My feet are in Pilates feet, but they can be parallel hip width apart with your heels directly under your sits bones. We're going to inhale, reaching up for the ceiling. Exhale, begin to dive down, articulating my spine. Drive my abdominals towards my spine. Squeezing my glutes so I don't rock back too far. I'm going to place my fingers on top of the carriage. My thumbs will be wrapped around the back end of it so it doesn't, slip and whack me in the face. I'm going to press it out, articulating my spine down to a cow, and pull back into a cat. When it hits the bumper, we're going to articulate slowly with control out into a cow again, not leaning into my reformer as I press out. Getting a hamstring stretch as well. One more. See how much of a hamstring stretch you can get with this tap. Coming back into hungry cat. When you come into the bumper, squeeze your glutes, inner thighs, and hamstrings, squeezing them to keep your hips forward. Coming back up. So your arms down. Inhale your arms back up. Exhale your arms back down. I hope that you all enjoyed this routine and this workout. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Thanks for joining me.